What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Habs Tonight playoff postgame show. This is Drew Dekes here, running things solo tonight because it's a late one, and my co-host Brandon Legacy is on the East Coast, and of course, it's an hour later his time, and he's got to work first thing in the morning. So we'll give it to him. Almost his first Father's Day, but not quite yet for Brandon, as him and his wife are expecting. But that's later this year in September. So anyway, kudos to you guys for tuning in tonight after a tough loss by the Habs to the Vegas Golden Knights. The Knights evening up the series 2-2 as things now shift back to Vegas. And it's a big one for Vegas tonight. I mean, once that tying goal went in, you kind of knew like Vegas was going to do everything they could to pull out the stops tonight and get the win for Leonard. And he was pretty steady in net tonight in place of Fleury. You got to give it to him. So I think that all things considered, as soon as we went into overtime, I just wish I could tell you I had a good feeling about it, but I didn't. And I wasn't going to share that with anybody. But I mean, that's just the way it goes. Pat Chiaretti really started that whole play on the winning goal by Nick Waugh. So full credit to Patch. I mean, whether or not he's scored in the series, he's certainly got a couple of big assists, and this was one of them. A huge assist, actually, just by doing that whole puck protect thing behind the net, just spinning around, throwing it on net, and then getting Carey Price completely out of position, just just out to, not out to lunch, but I would say just out of it. Had little chance to make that save on his stomach, and then Waugh just waited a minute and then elevated top shelf to send the series back to Vegas 2-2. So really gives Vegas some good life going back into this, going back to Vegas. So I think that this is a big one that the Canadiens really didn't want to let slip, but especially after that breakaway Byron goal, that was a thing of beauty. You got to give it to Paulie Byron there. I'm going to send this out to you guys pretty early. It's going to be a pretty short one for me tonight. I got to get to work in the morning as well. And just going to send this to you guys. If you want to come on the show tonight, just email me at live@habstonight.com. And I'll get you guys on the show as fast as possible. Only going to be taking a few calls tonight, guys. It's going to be a shorter one. The wind's taken out of our sails again as Montreal Canadiens fans. At least I'm feeling that way, and I'm sure you guys are too. After going up 2-1, when really we looked like we were going to lose Game 3, and then Josh Anderson got that fortunate bounce off Fleury, and then we got the lead in the series. So really, how close is this series? I think it is very close. It's a lot closer than Game 1. I think a lot of fans thought after Game 1 that, Montreal was not looking like they maybe belonged in this series, but we certainly showed that we do. We just really have to come up with a big game in Game 5 because it looks like Vegas means business at this point, and they got a big momentum shift here from Leonard playing pretty solid in net tonight. So looks like we already have a few of you guys that want to jump on. So we'll start getting those links out to you guys to get you on the show. And I know that we're going to get some positivity, some Habs-ativity from you guys, which I could certainly use. Being here in the, Stanley Cup semifinals, you don't know how many times you're going to get back here, as a lot of the players keep saying, but it's true. And again, tonight is just a tough one to swallow for Montreal Canadiens fans. It's a 2-1 win. It's a 2-1 game. That's how a lot of these games are going to go, it seems, in this series the rest of the way. So going to send out a couple links to you guys as we get things rolling here. One of the topics I'm going to cover quickly tonight, and I know that a lot of y'all are not so happy about the officiating in this series, but referees, what is the standard for calls now? As we saw, Chris Lee is again continuing to get assigned to these games, and whatever referee we get, we're going to have to deal with, right? So when it comes down to it, we don't have a choice in that regard. But the whole scrum at the end of the second period where Suzuki gets punched in the face, nothing comes of it. You saw the battle with Weber and I can't remember the name of the other player, where they both got called for it, and that was fine. I mean, a good playoff battle. They both get called, and that's all good. But there was definitely a bunch of non-calls tonight again, and it's kind of frustrating not knowing what a penalty is anymore, especially in the playoffs. But at the same time, I do feel like things have a way of evening themselves out, and that's why in Game 3, when that whole non-call on Perry went down, I had a feeling that the Canadiens were just going to find a way to win that game, and they did. But we'll certainly leave it to the boys to figure out how to get back into it for Game 5. Game 5 does go on Tuesday night in Vegas at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. And let's not wait too long. We'll get our first guest on there. We got Damon joining the stream. What's
happening
tonight, man?
How are you? This is definitely one of the toughest losses I've seen in Montreal Canadiens history from the time I've watched. I just feel that we deserve the win tonight, but it was just a couple of unlucky bounces, and I'm sure we know the officiating. But here's the thing that I think we need to do to come back in the series. I think we just need to be more aggressive on the forecheck. And the thing I noticed with Vegas is this is going to sound a little weird, but I just noticed they've had issues with changes, and we've been able to get breakaways off of it. Like I noticed when during the radio, Cole Caulfield got a breakaway, and when I was listening to the game today, and I'm just really hope like Montreal can come back into the series, and I just want to know what you guys think Montreal needs to do. Like I hope Romanov comes back in. Personally, I think he could be a big help, and I think that we're tiring out our big four defensemen such as Shea Weber, Joel Edmondson, Ben Sherrod, and Jeff Petrie, and I think Romanov coming into the lineup would really play a big part in helping out those big four.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Merrill and Gustafson tonight. I thought they were okay. Like I had no, especially the first period. I thought they were playing pretty steady back there. So I don't know that. I mean, I think some lineup changes may happen whenever a loss happens. That's usually when they're going to happen if they're going to, right? But we'll see if Romanov jumps back in. I don't think he's the solution though. I think they just, when it comes down to it, you got to score more goals than the other team. You got to get that third goal. Or in this case tonight, it was the second goal, right? But I think that I'm trying to remember who was the defenseman that scored the tying goal. McNabb, thank you. So him jumping in on that rush, like as you saw, if you watch the replay, him coming down from the point and just kind of coming in unsuspected and then tucking it in past Carey. I think you really needed a 1-0 win tonight if you're going to win this game. But at the same time, I mean, Carey doesn't let in a whole lot of those goals, right?
Yeah, that was just an unlucky bounce for Carey, in my opinion. But Carey usually has that 10 out of 10 times that kind of shot. Yeah, but I do like the idea of keeping Gustafson in. I think that if we were going to replace Romanov, I think Merrill, but also have a question. What do you think we should do with Tatar? Because I do notice Tatar hasn't been playing, and I think Tatar, I notice, has done well against Vegas from what I've seen in my lifetime with Tatar versus Vegas. I remembered when in his first game against Vegas back in October 2018, he scored the game winner. And I think he might be time for him to come back in. And I remember the last time we played Vegas, he scored the first goal in the shootout. And I'm just wondering if maybe him having a good record against Vegas, Tatar might bring him back into the lineup.
Yeah, you know what? Like at this point for me, because I don't know that they're going to be bringing him back next year. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to. I'd be surprised if they did, just the way things are going right now. But if they are going to bring him in, now might be the time, because you might want to just try one more reuniting with Philip Deneau and Brendan Gallagher, that trio that worked, for the last 2-3 seasons, last 2 seasons at least. So I think you got to maybe give it one more go and just kind of see if you can get a bit of an offensive spark. I mean, I think you just bump Leckie down in the lineup maybe a bit if you can, but then again, you got to take somebody out. So in terms of the forwards, like if you want to bring Tatar in, do you have an idea of who you want to see take out then, Damon?
Yeah, for me, here's the thing. I've always been a Lehkonen fan, but for me, I wouldn't mind taking as much as I like Lehkonen, especially on the penalty kill with Deneau. I think Lehkonen might be the guy we have to take out. But also, I wouldn't mind putting Evans back in once he's healthy. But I think with Tatarin, I think we should invest everything in trying to bring back Deneau this offseason, because Deneau has been really good defensively. And for me, I just think it's really important to bring back Tatarin to the lineup, because I noticed that when he's on his A game, he really is on his A game, and he makes his line better. Because I remember at the beginning of this year, I don't remember his exact stats, but he had about, I think, 5 points in 9 games, I'm pretty sure. And if he can play like that in the playoffs, he will be a big key for us. And I remember against Philadelphia, he played really well last year in the first round. And I really think it might be time, because Vegas, the thing is that Vegas has gotten into bad habits, especially last year, as we saw against Dallas in the conference finals, when it's come to scoring goals. And I think that in order to beat them, you need to score goals. And if Tatar is on his game, I think we need him to score goals for us. So that's sort of the big thing for me with Tatar.
Yeah, well, that Philly series was second round, because they, of course, beat up Pittsburgh in the play-in. Not to correct you, but technically you're right, because the play-in wasn't really always considered the first round. So in a way, you are correct. But the thing is about Tatar is that if he doesn't score in the next game, I mean, his confidence really might be exactly where it is now. Not at the highest level, because he's a streaky player sometimes, unfortunately. So if you don't get him involved and on the score sheet early, I don't know that it's worth but you have to roll the dice and consider it. I think they're going to consider it, but I don't know that they do unless the Habs lose the next game. That's kind of how I'm feeling because the game was so close as it was. I don't know that he comes in game 5. I'd be surprised. I think it'd be more of a game 6 thing if the Canadiens lose game 5.
Yeah, but game 5 is like dead important for us. I think it's the must-win game of the year.
Yeah.
I think that game sort of decides who wins the series. Or I think it's either that game or game 6. Because I remember looking back on the 2014 Boston series, I said whoever wins game 5 wins the series, but I was wrong. But hopefully I'm wrong here. Like I just hope that Montreal can come out and just get this win that they honestly deserve. Because no one in the playoffs deserves a cup more than Carey Price.
Yeah, we all want Carey to get a cup, and that's for sure. I'm just going to quote something here while I have you still. And this is coming from Luke Richardson, current head coach of the Montreal Canadiens. While we do, again, wish Dom Ducharme well. Unfortunately, he's got to sit these games out, which absolutely sucks after going all the way with this team right now.
I agree.
All the way to this point, anyway. Habs Richardson says that the players got a little bent out of shape in Game 3 about officiating. Coaches addressed it internally before Game 4 to focus on what they can control, adding Weber and Perry spoke to refs a lot tonight. So that's one thing about the officiating. And like honestly, I don't want to be one to complain about it. I actually hate it. I think it's a lame excuse for looking at wins and losses. And I don't think you or I are blaming the refs, but it does seem to be a theme that keeps happening. And I just think that things will even themselves out. So I'm not going to dwell on that right now.
But for me, like I just think like there should be a little bit more accountability with officials, in my opinion, in the NHL, because I do find that they typically don't. I'm not saying get punished, but they don't really answer after the call. Like I think there should be some sort of press conference. For example, if there's a call they got wrong, like a reporter should be able to ask and say like, "Oh, what did you see on that call?" Because like from this angle it looked like this, and maybe like the referee could explain what they saw from their angle. And that's one thing I hope the NHL can do and sort of make the officiating more visible to the fans, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, man. Look at this comment too, by the way. Tatar, if he doesn't score, what does he bring? That's a good question.
Exactly, I agree with that.
Because Lecky brings a lot more, I think, when he's not
he's
scoring.
More of a two-way player. Lecky has a better two-way game than Tatar.
What do you think about this though? Pulling Price next game?
I don't agree with that. Believe me, Price is the reason why we got here. He's the best goalie in the world, and I think he's going to be the starter for 2022 at Team Canada at the Olympics, and we should not pull him. He's been the best player in the world, in my opinion. Like I honestly believe that he's the best player in the world. Like especially like in the early
goalie.
I think he could like in the mid to 2015. I thought it was Price was both, but I'd say right now he's the best goalie.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like in the playoffs, he has been, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty undisputable. But there's a Habs stat that from Benjamin here that Habs win on average around 15% less games when Chris Lee is the ref in the game.
Yeah, like in my opinion, they should not really have Chris Lee officiating like back-to-back games in the same series. I think they should sort of switch out the refs, in my opinion. Like I know with COVID and the travel restrictions, but I do think they should be switching out the refs so you don't get the same refs every time.
Yeah, I mean that would be an interesting way to do it. I think the other thing though is that you kind of build a bit of an understanding of how the series is going. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm a Chris Lee fan. I'm not really a fan of any ref. I don't have favorites, but
Wes McCauley.
Yeah, there were a couple. That's true. There's a couple that come to mind that like Kerry Fraser and things like that. But I just don't want that to be the focus. I want it to be we lost because we lost and we won because we won and we deserved it either way, like the better team won kind of thing. I just don't want that to be the narrative as the refs, because it's been a narrative and it's true. I think the more the series goes on, I do think if necessary, the whistles will come out more. It's just when the series is this close, this early, it's 2-2 now. I think we'll see things even out a little bit more there, Damon.
Yeah. Thank you, Drew.
But thanks for jumping on the show with me. It's pretty much you and me co-hosting right now because I'm doing a solo job. So,
okay.
You know what? If you're wanting to stay on for a little bit more,
I wouldn't mind.
Bring on another guest here. We'll bring on Evan, and he's one of our regulars too. Always bringing some Habsitivity. What's going on tonight, Evan?
Evan.
No, Joe. How are you guys tonight? Eh?
Pretty good.
Could be better. Could be worse. We're somewhere right in the middle.
Yeah. I feel ya. But like I say, you know me, I don't count Montreal out, right?
Never,
Yeah.
never.
Yeah. It's never done till the fat lady sings, as they say.
Hey, bye. And honestly, guys, when we go back to Montreal for Game 6, they should bring that lady back. She always pumps up the crowd.
Jeanette Renault. Yeah, I'd love
Yes.
for that to happen.
She's awesome.
The 2014 vibes, I miss those.
Yeah, I know. We all do. We all do. Well, I'm going to put this up one more time just for the folks that are watching tonight. If you want to come on the show and chat with us, just email me live at habstonight.com. Just kind of hosting solo tonight, but Damon's kind of jumped in as kind of a interim co-host tonight by the looks of it, pal. So certainly appreciate that. But just want to throw that out there. I'll keep the link up for you guys. So email live at habstonight.com if you want to come jump on the show, share a few thoughts going into Game 5. What else you got for us, Evan? Any other thoughts on the game tonight?
Well, to be completely honest, I like Montreal's overall game, and I do agree with you about what you said about the refs. It's not the refs' fault the Habs lost. They lost because they lost. But there's one call that I didn't agree with, and that was when Buddy basically tackled Suzuki, punched him in the head, got on top of him, punched him in the head again. That should have been a penalty.
Yeah, I think in any regular season game anywhere in the world, that's a penalty. That's the issue, right? Like that's the inconsistency that we're getting. What is the standard, right? What is the standard for refereeing at this point? We don't know what to expect. But I think in all, it does even things out. Like things will even themselves out, kind of like it did in Game 3 when we won in overtime after there were 2 or 3 non-calls. Corey Perry, Lehkonen getting cross-checked and tripped from Pacioretty. So I think that things will even themselves out. But I know what you're saying. Like everyone knows that should have been a penalty.
And I do agree with you 100%, Drew.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? We're just not going to really get what we want when it comes to reffing in this year. This is not going to happen.
No.
So we got to take it as it comes. There's no other way to look at it, right? And Carey Price was solid in net tonight. Definitely wants, the first goal, the tying goal back. And at the end of the day, like some goals are going to sneak past him. Alex Pietrangelo hit the post tonight. There were some chances that like Vegas just can't, unless they're getting a perfect shot in net, they're scoring or they're missing the net entirely. And there was a lot of missing the net tonight. So I hope that the boys can bounce back because we certainly can't afford, I think, to go down 3-2 to Vegas because I think they'll lock it down if that's the case.
Don't worry. Honestly, I think Montreal is going to take next game because you know what? Montreal never stops battling. They never quit. And that's what I love about Montreal. Like, no matter what the odds are against them, we're going to show everybody that we can stick with the best of them. And honestly, Montreal's going to keep doing an amazing work like they've been doing all year and all playoffs. And I honestly believe, and I still believe, it's Montreal's year.
Evan, we can always count on you for some Habsitivity, but I swear you come on this show to like help heal my soul after a loss. I got to tell you, he does it every time, Damon. I'm telling you right now.
Love his jersey and I love his passion. I love his positivity.
Yeah, I know it's a shirt
right now.
We actually have a shirt on our website, and for those that are tuning in, if you haven't seen it yet, check out our new website, habstonight.net. I'll just throw this up for you guys real quick, and you can check out our merchandise. We got lots of great stuff on there. You see the sweaters, you see the shirts. We have a new shirt that's probably going to be launched tomorrow, if all goes well, with Breakaway Byron on it, I think. Nick is working on it as we speak. But yeah, we have a Habsitivity shirt. You can't see it quite yet, but that young lady there in the bottom left, she is sporting a Habsitivity sweatshirt. So they do exist. And I want to get your guys' thoughts. So we kind of got Evan's thoughts on Game 5 and how he believes the Habs are going to bounce back. And do you see any lineup changes though, Evan, going into Game 5 or no?
Well, to be honest, I think we should keep the same lines except Pellegrini Tatar. I know he's been streaky at times, but overall, I think he's an amazing player. So they should give him a crack in it, and they should try to put Romanov back in. He's good defensively, and to be completely honest, no matter who Montreal puts in, I think it's going to be a great matchup either way. That's me. That's just me. That's all.
Well, what do you think about who they should take out though? Like if you want to bring in Tatar, or say Jake Evans, let's just say Jake Evans is ready for Game 5. Who do you take out from the forward group for either say Tatar or Evans, or on the defensive side for Romanov?
Well, to be completely honest with you, if they are going to take out Lehkonen, I would put in Tatar, and it'd be nice to see him play his former team because he's had a lot of success against Vegas, and I just would like to see what he could bring in these playoffs versus Vegas. You know what I mean?
I think he'd love to stick it to his old team for sure. I think it's something we all want to see. We just want to see somebody come in and help this team because clearly this next game is so important for this series. And I think tonight's game really was, to be honest. This has got me a little nervous for sure. But the Habs have continued to prove a lot of us wrong, and that includes their fans. So we'll see how it goes. But pleasure as always, Evan. Thank you for jumping on, buddy. We always appreciate
I
it.
got one question for you, Drew.
Sure.
You know the merchandise. You guys should get Carey Price shirt going on because you know what? I think for a nice shirt designed by Carey Price, have Carey Price on the front of it, and be like "Beauty saves Price" or something like that.
Well, actually, you know what? We do have a Carey Price shirt, Evan. I'm not sure if you knew, but we actually have a Mr. Saturday Night shirt already out, and I'm going to pull it up for you if I can. And I'll get you to take a quick peek at this. Just give me 1 second here. I'm going to get a screen share up for you guys. And because you asked for it, Evan, I will show it to you. But if you go to habstonight.net, you can see this shirt. It is available. So I'm going to pull it up for you guys just so you can take a quick peek at it here. Okay, so here it is. This is the Mr. Saturday Night shirt. You can grab it on habstonight.net.
That is one sexy shirt. I'll tell you that right now. My boy, Carey Price. And to be honest with you, about that comment about pulling Price, there's no way that's happening, man. Montreal, no, not Montreal.
No.
Carey Price has been doing everything he can this whole playoffs, and he's been on his head and on fire since game 1 in the first round. And I don't really see them pulling Carey Price because you know what? Besides Gallagher, he's the heart and soul and the franchise of the Canadiens. And no one's going to tell me differently because we all know that Carey Price is the man, and I bow to him every single time.
Well, hey, man, I mean, we all know what he's been doing this entire playoff run, and I don't think you can put this game on him. I mean, that the winning goal tonight, especially, Patrick throwing the puck on it, he made the first 2 saves. So, Nick Waugh getting a wide open cage after that, and no goalie in the world is going to stop that. So, I hear you, man. But yeah, check out that shirt, buddy. We're going to release more Carey Price product as time goes on. So keep your eye on that too. But Mr. Saturday Night, it's already out there for you.
Trust me, I always keep on my eye on Carey Price stuff, and I also want to give a shout out to all the Habs Tonight crew. You're all amazing people, and congrats on Dale on his new contract. I'm really happy for him. He's going to kick some ass like he always does, and I hope everybody has a great night. Go Habs, go! Game 5, Tuesday night. Let's kick some ass.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming on. We always appreciate it. And appreciate the shout out too, buddy.
Thanks,
No
Evan.
problem, buddy. Love you guys.
Go Habs, go! You heard it. You heard it from Evan. Well, I don't think we have anybody else just yet. No, I could be wrong. We actually have one more in line. I think it's Josh, one of our most friendly Leaf fans ever. There, Damon. So we're going to bring him on. I don't know if you had the pleasure to hear from Josh, but
I've grown up around a lot of Leaf fans. Believe me, I live in Ottawa, so there's a lot of Leaf fans here in Ottawa. So yeah, gotta respect the Leafs at least.
What did you think about the goal, the winning goal? By the way, it was pretty much all Pacioretty on that play, right?
Yeah. I think Pacioretty did a good job of drawing what's it called. I don't remember who it was, but I remember he drew a couple Habs players towards him, and he got the shot on that, and then Price made 2 unreal saves on Nick Waugh, and then you got the open cage and Kotkaniemi playing goalie, which is something that it's called. Like, you can't really have a player play goalie in that situation. So yeah, that was sort of the really tough part with doing goal. I don't blame Price at all, but the one thing I would say is that is that Montreal, I think, needs to improve their main game in that situation. I think we need to have one guy on one guy. Of course, like we have the Deneau matchup versus the Pacioretty line, which in my opinion is a perfect matchup because Deneau's always been good at shutting down top players like Matthews and Marner and Hyman numbered. Matthews was limited to just one goal that entire series. And I remember the last series, we all thought Deneau would be shutting down Scheifele, but Deneau did a good job of shutting down Wheeler and Kyle Connor and the other forwards on Winnipeg. And Dubois as well, but like Dubois, there's a rumor he was playing hurt, which is part of the reason why he wasn't performing as well last series. But Deneau's just been so good. But that was just one gaffe in my opinion. But what I think the issue with the winning goal is that we need to have more awareness and we need to go over a bit more video of what to do when Vegas is out there like that because in the last game, the part of the reason why I think that line wasn't scoring for Vegas is because they sort of lacked a two-way game a bit because they had three wingers playing on one line together and there was no one really to go back for the puck and bring it up and there was no one really playing defense on that line and they expected more of the defense to pinch in a lot last game. So I think part of the reason why Vegas why that goal went in is because Pacioretty did such a good job and I think Vegas is a really good team, and they're going to be pretty tough to beat, in my opinion. But we've always got the CH in the heart and soul.
Yeah,
and our defenseman, we need to score. Like Petrie is getting the good chances. Like there's of course the Jeff Petrie effect, the red eyes, aka the Terminator.
yeah. I had Petrie picked for my Tim Hortons picks to try to get a goal tonight, but didn't happen. But what are you gonna do? So we're going to bring on Nick here, Leafs fan, our favorite Leafs fan, I think, that we've ever had on the show. Usually he has the Bell Center horn, which we only heard once tonight, unfortunately.
Okay.
How's it going tonight, Josh?
Oh, it's pretty going good. And just watching the game there, and man, oh man, Price was looking phenomenal when Vegas. I feel like it's now more of an interesting series than what it was at the start of the game or at the start of the series. Because I didn't expect Montreal to go go up 2-1 because I expected Vegas to come out flying early in the first couple of games.
Yeah, well, game one, Vegas came out absolutely flying, so that was a welcome relief that Montreal played a good road game in game two, and they were up 3-0 in that game too. So it's good to know. I think Montreal is going to really be hungry for game five. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes overtime again. I would rather it didn't because that means that one bounce can go either way. And that's the thing about the Pacioretty goal is he just threw it on net, and the power of doing that in overtime is amazing. Like you don't have to try to make the pretty play. You literally just throw anything and everything on net, especially early in the overtime like he did. And then you saw it less than a minute and a half in, game over.
Mm-hmm. I think I can turn on my camera now. I got to get it ready. Hold on. Give me a second here.
Yeah, I saw you trying it there before we brought you on air, so go for it.
Just get my hair because I got the Mitch Marner hairdo here. So, hey, what's up?
Hey,
nice to finally see your face, Josh.
Yeah, it's me, so it's Leaf, man.
You definitely got the Mitch Marner mop going, though, so well done.
Yeah, I started growing this about a couple weeks ago, or not a week ago, but a couple months ago, and it's been pretty good, actually.
Looks legit.
Yeah.
You look like Mitch. I'm not gonna lie.
I got a lot of people saying that I look like Mitch, but I wish I had Mitch's skills, but I don't.
Yeah, well, a lot of us do, but you got to see those more in the playoffs is what you guys need to see from him, and I think you will. Like John Tavares and Mitch Marner, I feel like I know Matthews and Marner were a really good duo throughout the season this year, but I just feel like there's something different about John Tavares, and him not being in the lineup especially really hurt the Leafs, but that's another story for another day. In terms of game five, Josh, and what do you think Montreal's chances are? You've been pretty neutral about the Habs, even being a Leafs fan.
Really, if their offense, Cole Caulfield, he's already proven very, very early in his career that he can be a fast player. And I mean, he goes 5-hole every time he's on a breakaway. And I mean, if he
scores tonight,
messes up the goaltender. And I mean, if he can keep up the speed and his goal, if he can get it on 5-0 more or go a little bit of top shelf, I think he could be a pretty good goal scorer and maybe even a 30 goal guy.
I think that's what we expect from him. So you got Ian, actually a fellow Leafs fan, that says that you look like Marner as well. So you're not the only one.
Yeah, that's the way.
There you go. There you go. Well, we're going to keep things a little bit shorter tonight, Josh, just because I got to get to work in the morning. This isn't my full-time job yet, but I'm working on it.
122 here where I live.
Oh, wow. Like, where do you live?
I live in Newfoundland.
Oh, you're a Newfie. Right on. Me too, buddy.
Yeah.
My heritage.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a Newfie, so definitely have those roots in me. And if you knew me, like I'm kind of quirky and I'm a bit of a klutz too. So I think that's a trait of a Newfie that a lot of people might be able to relate to. But we're an interesting bunch, right?
No, I would say.
All right, Josh. Well, we're gonna let you go, but thanks again for coming on. Always appreciate you jumping on with us, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you guys.
And good to see you, and good to see you for the first time too.
Nice to meet you, Josh.
See you.
All right, Mitch Marner, aka Josh, coming on the show.
Yeah.
Oh man, well that's fun. So Damon, any other thoughts? I'm gonna I kind of made you my unofficial co-host tonight, so I appreciate you being the co-pilot with me tonight and sticking on.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're the first official guest co-host. I think I can say that. Is that? Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
Was this your first time on or no?
I've been on before, but like my internet blacked out one time. So yeah, I'm gonna say it was a really weird incident. After game 5, game 6 of the Montreal Toronto series, I was on, but then my internet blacked out when I was in the middle of like talking about Ben Sherratt. And then because I was just talking about how I was worried about we might lose him to Seattle in the expansion draft. He's one of the 2 guys I think that we have a real risk of losing. And then my internet just blacked out on my first time on the show.
It's like hot take, boom, I'm out of here.
Yeah. This Thanos, Ben Sherratt will be taken by Seattle.
Yeah,
pretty much.
What is that called? What are those the rings called again?
The Infinity Stones.
The Infinity Stones. Thank you. I was trying to think of that. Like I was picturing his knuckles, like just with all the stones on him in the Avengers Endgame. Right on, man. Well, this has been in the comments tonight, so I'm sorry if I haven't acknowledged this tonight. I have to watch the overtime goal again, but I guess people were saying that there was an icing play that went uncalled before the overtime goal. Did you catch that?
I didn't necessarily catch it, but I did notice another icing that should have been called in I think it was in the first. No, it was the first period. I remembered where I remembered Philip Deneau chipped it out, and William Karlsson was sort of just following it, where he could have easily gotten it, and then they just let it go back, and Deneau was chasing him, and then they just called it icing as soon as he got to it. So I'll probably take a look because I'm sort of like a video nerd. Like, believe me, like this is one weird habit I've developed during this pandemic. I just like to watch old games and just watch like certain things. For example, like the U18 games. I've been watching a lot of the 2018 U18 games, the one where Lafreniere sort of broke out as a superstar. And then, as I'm sure we all know, I don't know if many people know this, we lost the most embarrassing to the Czech Republic, but our former Canadiens prospect, Alan McShane, scored the 1 goal for Canada. And yeah, like I've been going over so much video, but I'm definitely going to take a look at that again, because if that was icing, I definitely think that this is one thing I've been begging for the longest time in the NHL. I know they have this, but like I've been hoping they use it more video referees, like they've been using in the Euro Cup recently. For example, if if there's a call, the referee calls something wrong, the video referee will talk to them through the headset and just say, "Oh, this is what actually should have been called there," and then they'll just change the call right away.
Yeah, I don't know if we can make it into like a coach's challenge type deal, because I feel like that will just slow the game down even more.
Yeah,
they've already got it now, and it kind of does slow the game down when it gets used, but hasn't really been used too much in the playoffs that I've seen. So, this comment here, I mean, it's kind of true to us. I don't want to say it's true fully, but this is a bit of a heartbreaking loss. We earned that. We would earn that win. We earned that win. Sorry, and that would have been the ticket to the finals. It would have been one thing closer. I mean, to get two more wins against Vegas is going to be very hard, but Montreal can do it. I just don't know. I mean, like, I can't even begin to try to predict what's going to happen. So I've learned that from the beginning of these playoffs, man. So that's how I'm going to look at it here. Damon, I'm going to let you go, but I just want to say thanks for co-hosting with me tonight.
Thanks for having me, Drew.
Unofficially co-hosting.
It's been an honor.
Oh, buddy, you're welcome anytime. Your family if you're on the Habs Tonight squad. So anytime, man, jump on with us. We love hearing analysis from our fans. This is something that is unique to Habs Tonight. And if you haven't already, guys, subscribe to the channel. I haven't really said that yet tonight, but please do subscribe. I mean, we'd love to bring in new viewers and just new voices to the show. We want you guys to come on and have a say in this whole Habs community here. That's the whole reason for it. And it's not just the Habs, it's a hockey community. Habs Tonight is the focus, but we are going to talk about other teams when the Habs aren't the focus. And we got Nate Thompson coming on live this Wednesday, so be sure to tune in for that on We See Wednesday with Dale Weiss. I don't know if it'll be live or not. It might be pre-recorded from what I'm hearing from Dale, but yeah, do subscribe, guys. Follow us on social media. Again, Damon, thank you for coming on. So I'll let you go, but we'll see you again, hopefully for Game 5, my friend.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully I'll be back. I don't know yet, but I just pray to God.
No pressure. Yeah, it's going to be another late game, right? It's going to be a late one. So hopefully if we get a win, maybe we'll sneak in a post game. We'll see what we can do.
Hopefully. Thank you,
right,
guys.
Thanks again for coming on, man.
Right.
Awesome. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for the post-game show tonight, the playoff post-game show tonight with Drew Dekes, and on the Habs Tonight channel, of course, the Montreal Canadiens losing 2-1 in overtime to the Vegas Golden Knights, shifting things back to Vegas for Game 5, where we really need to see another spectacular performance like we did in Game 2 from the Canadiens in Vegas. So that's what I'm really hoping for, because, I mean, this game was so massive. I think it was Kevin Bieksa who said it, that this overtime was bigger for the Canadiens than it even was for Vegas, just in terms of trying to get a stranglehold on this series and punch their way to the Stanley Cup Finals. This is crunch time. This is absolute crunch time. It was basically like, actually, it was Kyle Bukauskas, my friend. Kyle and I are actually pretty good buddies. The last couple of years here, Kyle, rinkside reporter for Hockey Night in Canada Sportsnet. And he was saying how this game was kind of like a tipping point. This is going to decide potentially where the series is going to go. I want to remain confident in the Canadiens, and I think we deserve to give them more credit than they've been getting. And certainly they've proved that they belong in this series. And that was my first worry after Game 1, is that the Canadiens maybe didn't look like they belonged, but Vegas was riding the adrenaline in Game 1, and just the 18,000 plus fans in T-Mobile Arena and all that kind of thing. But anyway, guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're going to be back releasing content throughout the week as we usually do. Have some exciting interviews coming up. I'll let you guys, the few viewers, 180 of you guys on still tonight, know that we are going to be doing an interview, myself and Dale, with Nick Kyprios. And that's going to be a really fun conversation. We're hoping to do that on Tuesday if we can. And then We See Wednesday, whenever that gets released this week, whether it's live or not, Nate Thompson, former Montreal Canadien and former Winnipeg Jet, depending on his contract status. Not sure where Nate's career is at, where he'll be next season, but he'll certainly talk about that a little bit. And you can interact with him as well. That's the whole point of this show, that it's live and interactive as best as we can do it. So with that, guys, again, I'll mention, check out habstonight.net, our brand new website that was just launched this past week. So do check that out. Lots of great merchandise. We take merchandise ideas as well, so be sure to submit those. We like to take guest requests for future We See Wednesday shows, where we bring on former NHL players. Doesn't have to just be Montreal Canadian players. It can be anybody that you want to see. We've had Chris Pronger on. We've had Don Cherry on. We've had a whole array of guests come down the pipeline, a lot of Montreal Canadiens guests as well. So do check out our channel too. A lot of great episodes, a lot of great clips that we released over the last couple of days, talking about the referees, talking about, I almost said Theron Fleury, but Marc-Andre Fleury's situation. And, it looks like maybe Leonard has shifted things in his favor, at least in terms of Vegas, and maybe they're going to go with him in Game 5. I'd be surprised if they didn't. So that's pretty much all we got for the rest of the night, guys. Thanks for tuning in despite this tough loss tonight. The Habs are headed back to Vegas for Game 5, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. Like, subscribe, continue to follow along with us as the Habs continue to pursue this 25th Stanley Cup. They're 6 wins away, if we want to be positive and look at it that way, 6 wins away from the Stanley Cup. And I know we're looking far ahead, but if the Canadiens are able to somehow pull this off against Vegas, why wouldn't they be able to in the next round, right? But let's focus on now and where we're at with the Vegas Golden Knights and try to get past them first. So thanks again, guys. Drew Dekes here signing off. We'll see you guys again soon. Cheers.